guys, Preston Talbert with Godsey Ag. Last week on our Tech Tuesday video, we went over some soil sampling tips. This week we're still out soil sampling, so we're going to go over a couple more things. Last week we talked about how many samples we're taking per field, how many cores we're taking per sample, and where we're pulling those cores from within the field. This week what we're going to kind of briefly go over is soil sample depth, and we're also going to go over some implement things to kind of think about as you're soil sampling. First thing, soil sample depth. Pretty common to take 6-inch or 8-inch samples. There's about 2 million pounds of soil in the top 6 inches. So when we're making our RECs, we want to keep in mind whether we pulled 6-inch samples or 8-inch samples. If our RECs are for 8-inch samples, but we only pulled 6, our data is not going to be very good. Another thing to keep in mind is consistency of soil sample depth. If you're taking 6-inch samples, you want to consistently take those samples at 6 inches. Now, whether you're calibrating yourself to it or if you have a mark on your probe to keep that consistent depth, either way is good. We just want to be as consistent as possible there. Second thing we want to talk about today is keeping in mind your implement widths as you're soil sampling. If you're running a 12-row planter and a 12-row side dress machine, there's pass-to-pass variability. There's also a little bit of variability within that planter as the fertilizer goes to each row. So we want to keep that in mind as we're going pulling our samples. Maybe we want to park in a guest row and make a diagonal transect across both directions that our implement went. That's something to keep in mind where we're capturing that variability as well. So far the soil sampling tips: how many samples we're taking per field, how many cores per sample, where we're pulling those samples from, are we keeping a consistent depth, and do our RECs match that depth, and where's our implement in the field as we were pulling those samples. All things to keep in mind. I'm Preston Talbert, and that's your Tech Tuesday tip of the day.